on guys, Dawko back again. Hope you are fantastic today and welcome to today's video where today we're going to be talking about the biggest mysteries in Fnaf Security Breach. Now, there is quite a lot of mysteries in this game, right? Maybe too many. I thought it'd be a really cool series idea to make a bunch of videos about all of the biggest mysteries in Security Breach. And the first one that we're going to be talking about is the most highly requested one, is if Gregory is a robot or if Gregory is a human. Specifically after Matt Pat's amazing theory video, which is just a theory, guys. I saw a lot of people getting a bit heated by it, if Gregory's a robot or not. So I thought I'd do a video on that one first. I really want to do a video on the mysteries of Glamrock Bonnie, what happened with Glamrock Bonnie, the story about Pizza Simulator and how that's connected to the Security Breach game, and Henry's failure to destroy the animatronics and the spirits. Is Glamrock Freddy possessed? And if so, who is Glamrock Freddy possessed by? And who is the Blob? Who is Squidward Tentacles? Is the Blob possessed by old spirits that didn't get killed during the fire in Pizza Simulator, aka Molten Freddy and the sister location spirits? Is the Blob possessed by a specific spirit like the puppet or the bite victim or whatever? Or is the Blob possessed by current murders created by Vanny and Glitchtrap? Are those spirits possessing the Blob? There's a lot to talk about, but the first one, the most controversial, is Gregory a robot or is Gregory a human? It's a very interesting discussion, so we're going to be talking about that one today. Literally everything now has been discovered in the main Security Breach game, right? And the whole story and the ending is extremely vague, right? We still don't know a lot of so many things. And a lot of people, including me, and probably Matt Pat as well, are just left so confused about how we can solve this story. It seems like a lot of the story has been scrapped or has been saved for the future DLC. So at this current time, we still don't know what the true ending is. Which ending is true or not. We don't know who really Gregory is. We don't know really who Glamrock Freddy is. We don't know who Vanny is. We don't know who Vanessa is. There's a lot of things that are really confusing at the moment. But like I said, I do feel like some of it got scrapped because of time restraints and maybe saved for future DLC and maybe possibly saved for the books, right? We know that a new book is coming out. They seem to be focused on the Security Breach location, the Security Breach universe. We'll have to wait and see if they explain anything as well. Whether they, go into more depth about the Blob, or there's going to be a story about Vanny or Gregory. I feel like this is the most confused most people have been in any FNAF game. I tweeted, what are you guys confused about? And there's so many replies. So the first controversial mystery at the moment in this present time that everybody's talking about is if Gregory is a robot. And the first thing I want to say is I hope not. I really hope that Steelwool don't go to the route of oh, plot twist, Gregory's a robot. Gregory was made by Michael Afton or something. Gregory's secretly the crying child, and the crying child's possessed a robot. It's extremely complicated, and I think it's, I know the game's fictional and stuff, but I feel like that's too out there for the game lore. We have talked about before, in the novels, that there are human robots with Charlie and stuff. I would be a lot more happier if Gregory was his own character. He's just a homeless kid that went to the mall to hide out in. It doesn't have to be complicated. It can just be a normal kid who was there at the wrong time and, went on an adventure with Glamrock Freddy and saved the day. I don't think it has to be complicated where Gregory was made and programmed to defeat Afton. I feel like that's too much. We've already got a potential plot twist of Vanny and Vanessa being twins or sisters or whatever. Steelwool don't need to do about 10 plot twists in a game, right? It would just be too much. I don't know what you guys think, whether you guys would be happy if Gregory was a robot or not, but I don't like it. I think it would be nice to finally have a brand new storyline. Steelwool don't need to keep going to the past, right? Steelwool don't need to keep making new characters and being oh, it's not a new character, really. It's actually an old character that's possessing a robot, right? It doesn't need to do that. Now, the evidence of Gregory being a robot is actually very, very small. One of the things is Glamrock Freddy says to Gregory when Gregory needs to get healed because he's injured, Glamrock Freddy says, "You're broken."
I feel you are broken.
Don't worry about it, I'm fine.
No, I feel that something is wrong. I am taking you to the first aid station.
There's no time, I'm fine.
Now, just letting you guys know, Glamrock Freddy can sense that Gregory is injured because it's in the endoskeleton programming. If you go down to the Parts and Service endoskeleton training facility, you can see one of the arts there where the endoskeletons are trained and programmed to heal injured children. So people think, oh, Glamrock Freddy said you're broken, which means that he's not really a human because he's broken. Now, I've heard rumors this is actually because Steel will change the lines from like you're bleeding. So they changed it to you're broken because of the age rating on the game, apparently. So apparently in the files it actually says you're bleeding instead of you're broken. And the rumor is, it's not 100% confirmed, guys, is that they changed it because of the age rating, because of blood, you know, talking about blood and stuff, apparently. The other thing as well that people talk about a lot is Vanny. So when Vanny gets close to Gregory, you know, the screen goes all staticky and glitchy and we can't see where we're going. Now, people think Gregory's a robot because, you know, Vanny's getting close to us. Vanny is a hacker. She has something in her suit that, you know, glitches robotics and stuff. When Vanny gets close to Gregory, you know, his vision goes all staticky and glitchy. Therefore, Gregory is a robot. I feel like that's just a game mechanic that Vanny has. Just for the game. I don't think it's enough evidence to say that Gregory's a robot. Another thing to debunk that is when Gregory and Glamrock Freddy are hiding from Vanny, Glamrock Freddy can't see her, but Gregory can. We know that Vanny has something in her suit or has hacked the animatronics where she cannot be seen by the animatronics. She cannot be seen by Glamrock Freddy because Glamrock Freddy is a robot. Gregory can see Vanny. So to me, that confirms that Gregory's a human because Gregory can see Vanny because he's not a robot. Glamrock Freddy can't see Vanny because Vanny has hacked the animatronics or has something in a suit that makes her invisible like a cloak, makes her invisible from any of the animatronics. So what do I think? The thing is, guys, Security Breach is so vague. Gregory could be a robot, or Gregory could be a human. It's not 100% confirmed on both sides. There's nothing 100% confirmed to show that Gregory is a robot, and there's nothing 100% confirmed that Gregory's a human. But to me, it's leaning more towards a human, okay? Especially with, like, Gregory being able to see Vanny, but the robots can't. And just in general, I just don't feel like Steel would do another plot twist like that. I feel like if Gregory was a robot, it would be a very big plot twist, but I also think it just damages Gregory's character in general. I think Gregory's a great character, a great new character to the franchise, and the fact that he could put, like, he would be a robot and it's not really him and he's, you know, he's fake, I feel like it really, like, just diminishes his character. It just breaks his character. I think him being a human who's homeless, doesn't have any parents, really brings up Gregory's character and brings up his personality a lot more than him just being a robot, in my opinion. This is what I think, guys. I think Gregory is a human. I think Gregory's just a homeless kid, right? We don't know what's happened to his parents. That's still not explained, and I'm not going to go into depth with that. You know, we don't know what's happened to Gregory's parents. They could still be alive and they could just be looking for him. We don't know. But I think Gregory is a homeless kid, right, wandering the streets and stuff, and he's seen the Pizzaplex Mall. Now, if you were a homeless kid, right, and you saw this massive Pizzaplex Mall with free food, arcade machines, attractions, bowling and golf, would you go in there if you were homeless? Would you try and camp out in there if you were homeless? Because I would if I was a kid. I had nowhere else to go. I would definitely go to the Pizzaplex and try and get in there and try and hide out in there. Now, we know from looking around the mall that people have been camping out in that mall, okay? And there's locations where there's like sleeping blankets and food on the floor and notes and stuff, and there's a TV and stuff. Someone has definitely been hiding out in that mall. Did Steelwall place those to show Gregory's been in there for a while? Gregory's been hiding out in that mall for months? Or are Steelwall just showing like, yeah, people have been camping out in here, like other kids and stuff, or employees or whatever? I definitely think Gregory's been camping out in that mall, and then unfortunately he came into contact with Vanny and, you know, tried to escape and stuff. And while he was getting chased by Vanny or the other Glamrock animatronics or something, he decided to hide inside Glamrock Freddy's stomach while Glamrock Freddy was deactivated after he glitched out on the stage performance. That's what I'm thinking. It's not confirmed whether that's the first night Gregory's been in there, or if Gregory's been in that location for months. Because remember, he's been homeless. There's clear indications that somebody's been camping out in that mall, whether it's Gregory or not. It's literally there. There's sleeping bags and a TV in the freaking pirate ship room. So somebody's been camping out in there. Whether that's Gregory or previous employees or other kids, we don't know. Another thing is that Vanessa says that Gregory's not on the database at all. In the pizzeria. People are going, oh, that's because he's a robot. That could also mean that Gregory's homeless. He's not on the database because he hasn't checked into the location. He hasn't checked into the Pizzaplex, right? His tickets, people who have paid and got into the Pizzaplex with their tickets, right? When you use a ticket, they know who you are and stuff like that, right? If Gregory's homeless and went into the mall without using a ticket and stuff, he's not going to be on the database. He's not going to be on the records because he's never bought a ticket before. He snuck into the mall without a ticket. He broke into the mall. So yeah, that's what I think, guys. I do not think Gregory is a robot. I just think he's a homeless kid that snuck into the mall who has potentially been camping out in the mall for a while. Whether that's a couple of weeks or a couple of days or months or a year, we don't know. Or just one day. But there's clear indications around the mall that somebody's been camping out around there, whether that's Vanny or Vanessa. We know Vanny's been sleeping in the mall and stuff because she's got a little hideout at Phaser Blast. Whether the other locations and stuff were old hideouts or those are Gregory's or Vanessa's, we don't know. To me, Gregory is a human, and I feel like if it turns out to be a robot, I feel like it diminishes his character, and he would be better off to be a human rather than a robot. But yeah, that's just my opinion though. You guys might like the idea if Gregory's a robot, but I don't feel like we need another plot twist when we've had 1 million already in Security Breach. If Steel will decide to make Gregory a robot and confirm that, I don't mind the idea as long as it's explained well and it's got a good storyline, right? So let's say Gregory turns out to be a robot. Gregory was an original prototype that Henry was making in the past before he died, just in case Afton did come back. As long as there's a good reasoning behind it, right? Not just, oh, Gregory's a robot. A good explanation as to why Gregory was created in the first place. Anything like that will be fine with me, just as long as Steelwall didn't make Gregory a robot for a plot twist to get people shocked, right? Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's theory video about Gregory. We've still got a lot to cover, but I thought I'd do them as separate videos rather than one massive one because we'd be here for hours and hours. Hopefully you enjoy this new series. It's really exciting in my opinion. Just breaking down each mystery and going in depth with all of them. It's really exciting because, like I said, Security Breach is so vague with all of the things that we're going to be talking about, you know. I feel like, unfortunately, Steelwall didn't have enough time to go in depth and explain all of them. So hopefully in the future, with the DLC, we'll get some of these mysteries solved. You know, some of Scott's old games are still left as a mystery, but Scott did try and explain some of them, like Sister Location and stuff, in future updates, you know, with Michael Afton and stuff. So hopefully Steel will try and do the same, because some of these things, like especially the Blob and Glamrock Freddy and stuff and Gregory, basically everything is still left off pretty much unexplained. So we'll have to wait and see. Lots of love, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.